Yo.
What up? What up?
What up, though? Dude, that was loud. I came in hot.
Yeah, man. I was like, ooh, did we fuck with the volume?
I think I did mine a little. I mean, a little. Yeah, you go. Yeah. I got to get my James Earl back.
Welcome to the Quiet Storm. Yo, welcome everybody to episode 103. We back. He's Juan and I'm Sean. And every week we get together, have a couple of drinks, and talk about things going on in the world. Try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. And in keeping with the summer theme. Hit him with the drink, sir.
Let's go, man. Let's go. What are we calling this? I don't know what we calling it.
Ooh, I don't know, man.
I will break y'all through what's in it, man.
Yep.
Right now we got a shot, so 2 ounces of Terramana tequila. We got a shot of La Pinta. So this is a first for us. It's called La Pinta pomegranate liqueur, and it's made with 100% blue agave. So we did a shot of that and a shot of the Terramana. We squeezed in like a wedge of lime,
yep,
and then topped it off with pineapple juice.
Yep,
right?
simple.
That's super simple, different. This pomegranate liqueur tastes great, man. We did have like 15 variations of this before we finally decided on this.
Sorry.
So yeah. So we say something wild, blame it on.
Sorry about that.
We finally got the one that said, though, this is good, man. I don't know what we're calling it, but
yeah,
it's pretty simple, man.
But I will say, so the first one that we did was like a shot and a shot. And then being the alcoholics that we are, we found that if we do the 2 ounces of the tequila and then the 1.5 ounce of the pomegranate, that actually hits better for us. But if you don't like the taste of liquor too much, just do a shot of each.
Yeah, you're right. The 1.5 of each instead of the two.
Instead of
two
the 2 and
1.5.
1.5. Yep.
Yeah,
because that's what I gave. I gave to your wife, right? I gave her the just a shot of each, and she liked that.
And
one.
It was sweet. Yeah,
that was good.
This is good, man. You said keeping up with the summer theme.
That's right. It's a good poolside drink, man.
It really is.
Bro, speaking of poolside, man, we was this past week. Actually, was it? Shit, it was yesterday. Time flies. We went to a state park here in Apopka. It was like there's like a spring. It's a state park. I think it's called Kelly Park. I might be wrong on that, but it's in Apopka. Okay. Look it up, people. Really cool though, man. It was like if you have a vehicle like a van or a car, whatever, up to 8 people, $5.
Oh,
you pay to get into the park. The park there's like a ton of like trees, and then under the trees there's park benches, there's grills, and then there's a natural spring there. And what they do is they section off, I want to say about, I don't know, maybe like half a mile to a mile long piece where the water's actually like moving enough that you bring a tube and you send a tube down the stream.
Oh, that's kind of dope.
Yeah, it was cool, bro.
So and then you go down and just get out, walk
back up to the top and get back in. Like there's no real like no. I mean, I guess I would imagine we went on a random Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So the crowd wasn't crazy. There was definitely a lot of people there, but I can imagine like on a weekend, it would probably get crazy.
Well, all those springs on the weekends, they stop letting you in after capacity, and they always get packed. Like if you go past 10 a.m. or something, it's always packed, man.
So this was like that too, and the reviews that we read were all like, they open up at 8, like get there at 7.
Damn.
We took a chance and we were just like, it's a random Tuesday. We're only 45 minutes from the house. So we actually got there, I don't know, around 8:30. And there was a line waiting to get in. So we probably stood in line for about 20 or 30 minutes trying to get in.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude, because there's like one person taking your $5 and it was like cash only. And probably people who had questions or whatever. But you could also, like, you can kayak there as well.
It's cash only. Let me find out the government laundering. How the fuck?
You know that park was donated.
You ain't got square. You government. Come on, bro.
Nope, they had they had a sign at the window that was like, our credit card machines are broken. Yeah,
and
right.
It's been like that since like 93.
But they do have like limited parking, and so it does fill up.
Yeah, they all do, man. The springs.
But dude, it's cool, man. Like, and you know, in the park, there's also trails that you can go and walk. You could do the tube, like if you bring your own tube, right? You can actually, I think you can rent them from a place near there, but not inside.
Okay.
But you could also just like go in the water and like swim down the stream. Like I did that a couple of times with like a snorkel gear on.
Yeah.
And you see, it's clear, so you see fish.
Yeah.
I didn't see any manatees, anything like that. But you see fish, and it was cool, man. It was.
Try. It's just Kelly Park.
I think it was Kelly Park.
Yeah, I've never done that one, man. I've done the other one, Blue Springs, like Wakaiva and all that. Yeah, like Wakaiva, then Blue, I've done Ponce de Leon Springs or whatever. Yeah, I haven't done that one. I have to check that out. I like that, man. The tubing and like the rivers and stuff like that. Or, like the springs, it feels like a river. That's kind of fire, man.
Yeah, it was very cool.
I have to check that out, bro. Oof.
All right, man. I'm gonna hit you up with my carbon footprint.
What you got, man? What you got?
If I can,
total mystery to me, because I think
my carbon footprint is going out to Morgan Freeman.
Morgan, okay,
God, AKA God.
Okay. Let's call him Lucius Fox, but go ahead.
So his full name is actually Morgan Porterfield Freeman Jr.
Oh, damn.
And today, so we are recording on June 1st.
Okay.
Today is that man turns 85 years old.
Yo, Morgan Freeman, 85, bro?
85, yep. Have you not seen him recently?
I feel like Morgan Freeman, one of them dudes that's looked old since I've known Morgan Freeman's been a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is that sound?
What is that? I was just going to say, what's that noise?
Is it? It's like an airplane almost going over, right?
That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like
Is that what
like
it
an
is?
air. I don't know. It sounds like a chopper landed on my house. Now it's gone, right? Sort of.
It's going away.
Yeah, yeah.
It must have been a really low airplane.
That's really weird. Yeah,
There's no airport around here, people.
yeah, there's not. It's a few miles away. It's not even like.
We'll read about it tomorrow in the news.
Yeah. Local Walmart gets run into by it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hope not, man. We had enough shit this week going on.
Yeah.
But back to Mr. Freeman. Dude, his first gig was a show that I watched as a kid in the 70s. It was called The Electric Company.
Never even heard of that.
The only thing that I remember of it, there used to be this. There was these two. They would have like this screen, and so sorry. That Electric Company was essentially to help people or kids with language.
Okay.
With like the English language, and that's why I remember it. They would be these two like dark faces at each end of the television, and you could see their mouths moving, and one of them would be like, "Shh," and the other one would go like, "Ert, shirt." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Shh, oval, shovel. You know what I mean? And they would do a lot of that stuff, and that's all I remember from the show. I mean, that was when I was very young, but that was his first gig, and freaking Bill Cosby was on that show too.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
But this dude, you know, and I called him God in the beginning. You know, he played God in the Lego Movie. He played God in Bruce Almighty.
That's right.
He did that that series. Was it on National Geographic? The Story of God.
Yeah.
Right, where he kind of went around the world and looking at different religions and their practices. But this dude, he grew up in Mississippi, which is like, you already failed.
Yeah, bro. You talk about Mississippi almost 100 years ago too, bro. He's 85, right? You talking Mississippi in 1940? That hits different, bro.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be a black man in Mississippi during that time frame.
He was born in what, 37? If he's 85?
Is that right?
Fuck, bro.
Do the math. I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. I think so. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, do the math, people. But we know back then, you know, it wasn't an easy time for black folks.
Easy now,
the South.
Mississippi shit. Jeez, bro.
I think that's one state that I have never been to.
Yeah, I don't know that
Have
you're
you?
missing much, bro.
No, that's we were talking about this before. Like the one dude that we know from Mississippi.
Yeah, Mississippi. He like, don't go.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know why anybody would want to live there.
He's like, there should be a wall around that one.
Yep.
And Alabama combined. Just let them have each other.
But dude, the movies that this guy has done, so he's done at least, I couldn't find the exact number, but it's right around that 100 range
Of movies?
that he's been in.
Okay.
Right?
That's a lot of fucking movies.
But he is the third highest Hollywood box office star, with his movies grossing $4.36 billion.
Oh, wow.
In gross revenue.
Damn, dude. I didn't know that Morgan Freeman. Fuck. He was one of those late start guys, right? Like, he was one of those guys who had, like, a career before movies. Like he didn't get popped until he was, like, 40 or something like that, or 50.
Well, I mean, figure if he was born in, what did you say? In
37, I think, would have to be the math if he's 85, right?
And I want to
Is that
say he
right?
started doing this stuff in the late 60s.
Okay, yes, I'm saying. So he's
So
in his
20,
30s or
no,
something?
20 something, right?
Late
It can,
60s.
no, it
yeah.
could be, yeah.
It depends. Yeah, for some reason, I feel like he's one of those guys that always shows up in those. Morgan Freeman didn't get popped until he was 45 or something like that.
That's probably
didn't pick up.
possible.
You know, like you always
Yep.
get these people who like had regular jobs and then they become like whatever later in life.
Yeah.
I always feel like he's on those lists, but maybe it could be something else.
But movies that I can remember him on is like Shawshank Redemption,
Oh yeah, classic.
Glory, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, those are the ones. That's why I call him Lucius
Right.
Fox, because it's in that Dark Knight trilogy, right? He was in all three of them, right? Like he did Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and he was in the whole trilogy.
Was he in Batman? He was in Batman Begins.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
He's the
That's
one
right.
that
Because he's the one that when he goes
Gets in the
down,
suit and shit. Yeah.
Yes.
He gets in the
That's right.
car. Yeah.
he's in
Wow.
Seven.
Yo, Seven was a good movie.
Right?
Actually, I'm trying to think of a bad movie, bro. Wasn't he Stand by Me?
Is that the one?
Is he Stand By Me?
But it's the school.
Yeah.
The school principal. Is that what it's called? Stand by me.
Yeah, Stand by Me. Wait,
No. Is it?
Lean on Me.
Lean on Me. That's it. Lean on Me. Yeah,
the
yeah,
song is Stand by Me.
No, the song is Lean on Me too.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
Stand by Me is the one with the little white kids that they're like. Remember that they get leeches on their balls or something. I don't even know why I remember that part.
That's the wrong movie.
But yeah, Lean on Me.
That's what it is. Lean on Me.
The school in New Jersey.
He's the principal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, and he's got
Crazy-
some like iconic
Crazy
lines
Joe.
too. Yeah. And he has such a.
They used to
distinct
call me
voice, man.
Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. But that dude, man, you know, and I don't know him from Adam, right? But he just seems like it's a good dude, man. I don't even know why. He's probably an asshole.
Yeah, he's probably an asshole.
He's
but
probably an
he looks
asshole.
cool.
This is like a good dude, man. But he's had like he's won Academy Awards. He's got a Screen Actors Guild Award, Golden Globe, and I was just like, this dude is like the Julio Cesar Chavez of fucking
He just won't
movies.
go away.
He's making another movie like as we speak.
Yeah, at 85, yo, good for him,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
But I wonder if he's one
And
of those
he's-
things where you got to stay active, or you know, like
Or
you
you
know, how we
die.
always say like, oh, you die. Yeah. People don't stay active,
Yeah.
man. They go downhill fast.
I think
bro.
that. I think he's also doing another like special with like I don't know if it's like Nat Geo Wild, National
Well,
Geographic.
his voice is
or
so
something.
damn distinct too,
Yeah.
man. And so he's got.
He's the voice of God, man.
He could have just been. He could have made a career out of just the voice, like being a voice actor. Yeah, he's just one of those guys, man.
And lastly, man, he actually co-owns a blues club in Clarksdale, Mississippi. It's called Ground Zero.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Okay, that's pretty lit, man.
And just you can just see him in a blues club.
Fuck yeah, bro. He just everything about him screams like blues vibes, like jazz, and just I love that, bro.
Listening to jazz and just dropping knowledge.
His whole vibe is like, yo, bro, yeah, let's sit around, let's listen to some Gary Clark Jr. or something like that, or some old, like, you know, some BB King or something, and just, yeah, I want to have a doobie with Morgan Freeman, bro, because you know that's what he'd call it. It's probably lit, bro. It's probably a good time.
So shout out to Morgan Freeman,
Morgan.
man. Happy birthday, 85 years old. Again, he didn't do. I would, you know, it's one of those guys that I don't know that he would think that he's had an impact, but I think the people that have watched him and his movies over the years, like the guy's provided a lot of entertainment and also a lot of knowledge because he's been in those kind of shows on National Geographic that kind of like educate you.
Yeah, dude, I can't even think of, like every actor usually has like that cheesy ass movie or like the bad movie, or no matter how good you are.
Yeah, I can't think of
one that like he's been in that you're not like, oh yeah, fuck, that was a good movie. Even the ones I forget that he was in, as soon as you mention, like, it's like, oh yeah, fuck, he was in that was pretty good. Like, or his part was always good. Like, he was never, I don't know, man.
He probably has some.
I'm sure he does. Yeah, he has to. Like the ones we never heard of, right? But like, there's so many actors, man. Like, one of my favorite actors ever is Nicolas Cage. But Nicolas Cage has done some trash movies.
I hate that guy.
Really?
I'm sorry.
I love Nicolas Cage. Sorry, man.
I don't hate him, and a lot of the movies that he's been in have been good.
Yeah.
He's the same dude.
Yeah, that's what I love about him. He's so awesome. I know what I'm getting, bro. He's so dope, and it's so funny because, like you say, he's the same dude, and it works so well in certain movies where you're like, what a great movie, like, and he did a great job of being him. And then there's some movies where you're just like, bro, he's not the guy for that, right? Like, it'll be like a Renaissance movie, and he's still talking like a dude from Cali, like,
The dude that's stealing cars.
Yeah. Gone in 60 Seconds, bro. That movie's awesome. I love that movie, bro.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, Nick Cage has some bangers, bro. Oh man.
What's the other one where they go? Was that the movie where he's with the prisoners and they all go on a plane?
Yo, Con Air, bro.
Con Air,
bro. Gone in 60 Seconds. Yo, Lord of War. Like, Nicolas Cage has some bangers, bro. National Treasure. But then he also has a lot of movies where you're like, yo, what happened, bro? Like, how bad did you need that check? Like, he has a lot of those, man. So, but so Morgan Freeman, I say that to say, like, you think of Morgan Freeman, I can't even think of like what's the running joke one? What's the
there is.
Like, I can't think of any. Yeah, it's like that guy, everything he does. So, dude, that's a certain skill too, to be selective about your parts as well. Like, pick things that fit you and that aren't gonna be like, you're not gonna be the butt of jokes later on. So, good for him, bro. Shout out Morgan Freeman, yo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Voice of God.
The voice of God, baby.
If there's a God out there, I'd imagine he definitely sounds a lot like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, he look just like him.
He look just like he gotta, bro. He gotta.
What you got?
Yo, my comic football, man. I also picked another actor. Keeping with that theme. So our boy Johnny Depp today won his defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard for the boys one time. Johnny,
I see you back to your asshole theme.
I'm back to my asshole things, yo. Fuck Amber Heard. Listen, the men have been having a horrible run as of late, bro. Like, horrible with in the news and the whole Me Too shit, and some of it is well deserved. We needed a victory, damn it. And Johnny Depp came through one time for the boys, man. So, first of all, I like the fact that he won this because I think you could tell that this chick was full of shit, and I'm sick of people like that getting away with shit like this, where, like, I think as men you always feel defenseless against, like, yo, somebody accuses you for something, you're almost always guilty in the court of public opinion, and you have to prove your innocence. And unfortunately that's just kind of like what we're in today when you're like in the public eye. But most dudes don't come back from shit like that, man. So I love the fact that he won this, that obviously she's a liar, and then, bro, he's gonna be more popular now than ever. Like, that guy's career was over.
Did you watch any of this?
No, I didn't watch it. I watched the clips. Yeah, all the clips. But I don't have any interest in sitting down and watching the trial, man. I saw the clips and I saw the things that people sent me, but like, as far as sitting down and watching,
what did you like about what did you like about hearing?
I liked him. I always thought she was a liar. So, and then obviously the clips that I saw just made her look bad. First of all, I don't know if she got. I think she got a public defender, bro. I don't know what the fuck happened to that, bro. You know, the one like the lawyer will be appointed for you. Shit.
The only thing I saw was that it was like Amber Heard's lawyer was too confident.
Yo, she was fucking horrible. Every time I saw a clip of this chick, I was like, you passed the bar, bro? And then what I liked about him, bro, is that, and what made him more believable is that he was so unapologetically him. Like, anytime they would bring up the shit about the cocaine bag, like we were saying before, like it would be like, yo, it was a big bag or whatever, yada yada. Like, what would you say to that? And he was like, it was a pretty big bag. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't give a fuck. Like, most actors are trying to be like,
it was one of those nights.
Like, I'm gonna pass on that. Like, I don't recall doing coke. You know what I mean? Like, he was owning all that shit, bro. Like, they asked him about a glass of wine, and like, oh, he poured a giant glass of wine, and they'll question him about it. He's like, I thought it necessary. You know, like, it's just like, yeah, bro, same. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
shit happens to me.
Shit happens to me
almost daily.
So the fact that he owned up to who he was, because I don't think he ever played up the fact that he was innocent, like, as far as like a dude goes. Like, I think he owned up the fact. Johnny Depp probably a pretty weird dude and definitely likes to have a good time and party and do some wild shit. But I think he definitely didn't do the shit that she was accusing him of, or at least maliciously or whatever the fuck it was. Like, the fact that he owned it as hard as he did, I think just made him that much more likable and that much more believable. Because it's like, bro, if you're not even willing to lie, if you're over here doing blow and you're over here doing, like, drinking like a motherfucker, you're doing stuff like, even some of the dirty texts that would come out and they would read his dirty text there, he was fucking laughing.
He's like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Like, I remember that. Yeah, bro. He had that look like, yeah, I remember that. That was a good time. She took me up on that later.
Did they ever go into the whole, like, her shitting on the bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she claims that it was like, oh, it was a joke or something like that. Like some dumb shit. And then she tried to say she got sick. And it just changed so many times, bro. Like, I think, at least some of the clips that I saw. But, like, she was just so unlikable and so fake. Like, that I think it was the fact that I think she was sort of portraying a part and he came off so genuinely him, I think helped him a lot. And if he is guilty of whatever, then he's the best actor of all time. Because that guy was like, I don't know, man. And I feel like, again, guys in general, I think, and in a lot of cases deservedly so, we haven't had a good run, bro, in the last few couple of years as far as like the whole court thing and the public eye and all this stuff like is concerned. Like, we've been winning like historically, but at life. but this, like, man.
Yeah, not in the past. Not in the past few years.
Yeah, the past few years has been rough to be a guy, bro.
Bro, did you see your boy Deshaun Watson?
Yeesh,
he's
bro.
Fucking it up.
I'm like, bro.
He got another like another accuser, right?
Yeah, bro, and he got a whole Michael Jackson doc out now, like they did for the Neverland Kids or whatever the fuck. Remember how they? Then he got doesn't he have a what was it, the special or whatever that they did? Was it HBO or somebody?
Oh, the HBO one. So they had two accusers come out and talk about him.
You know how much of a prolific I don't want to say criminal, alleged criminal you got to be for you to get a documentary, bro, like R. Kelly, like Michael.
Well, this one ain't quite that bad, man. Did you watch it?
No. Okay. I heard about it, but I didn't watch it at all.
So it's on HBO. Did the Real Sports with Brian Gumbel.
Well, and
so they interviewed two of the women that were accusing him of this, right? And let me get my notes here because I have names. So Ashley Solis,
okay,
and Kyla Hayes. So Ashley was the only one to me that I was just like, yeah, okay, I get it. She described a situation where he came in and he like sort of like take off his towel, so to expose his genitalia, right? And then was kind of encouraging her to kind of go and massage in that area and like don't be afraid to touch it, that type of shit. She at one point she just cuts it off and was just like, nah, like I'm not for this, like, And then before he leaves, he goes, yo, I know you like your job, I like my job too, so I know you want to protect yours, I want to protect mine. Basically, like, hey, it didn't work out, so like it's cool, like I'm leaving. You hear
nothing happened,
but for her nothing actually, right? Like he didn't rape her, he didn't fucking whatever. He put her in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah,
to me, it's what it kind of boils down to.
Creepy, yeah. He's been creepy though. Yeah.
Right, and then but for her, it's like this mental scar because she was on the thing and she's like visibly like upset, like still about it, right? Now the other girl comes in, and she was like, she has like her own business, which actually the first girl did too.
Okay.
And which actually, let me go back to that. The first girl, when his team reached out to her to do the massage, she's in Houston, and even her dad is like, oh my God, this is an amazing opportunity for you. Like, he's a nice guy because all the philanthropic shit he does in Houston, right?
He's got a great reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So he comes off as he's a star quarterback. He's doing all the shit for the community, whatever. And so she's like, oh, I'm gonna get this business is gonna be amazing for me, right?
This is my jump start.
This is right. So on the flip side, this Kyla Hayes, I think she has like her stuff is like on Instagram, and so he reaches out. whatever. But the story that she describes is that he drops his towel, and then she's like, "Oh, like, you know, here's your towel." He's like, "No, no, no, we're not gonna need that." And then actually tells her to kind of like massage in almost like a V motion around the genitalia. And she said, and while she was doing that, like, he would be, and I'm sorry to laugh, but he would be moving his dick so that it would so it would touch her hand. I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it's funny.
Listen, the fact that you got control over left and right on your dick is kind of impressive, bro.
So she describes that, and I was thinking, I go like, okay, so then he's not moving it. Like, he has to be moving it with his hand.
Yeah, you can't move your dick left or right, bro.
Yeah, right. Like, it doesn't do that.
It's up or down, bro. It's up or down.
Well, she said that when he removed his thing, like, he's hard.
Okay.
So but she still kind of went through with it. Instead of putting an end to it, she still went through with it.
Which I've heard from massage therapists, by the way, like everyday massage therapists, like dudes get hard all the time on the table.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard massage therapists all the time. Like it's fucking natural. They just massage around it. They just kind of ignore it or whatever. Or you get the total opposite. Like some dudes are so like, you know, got like performance anxiety or like this. There's nothing.
Right.
Like, bro, I'll be honest with you. I for most of my life, I avoided massages because of that. I'm like, yo, how weird would that be if you got a hard on while you're getting a massage? When I finally got a massage, bro, nothing felt less sexual than that shit. Like, it was so, I don't want to call it uncomfortable because it's not uncomfortable, but it's nowhere near like intimate or sexual to me at all.
No, not at all.
I couldn't. Like, I just,
I had one time I got a one, and like, dude, my first massage was from a dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, that felt, I didn't like that.
Yeah, if you'd have got chubby there, I'd have been wondering. You'd be like, I kind of liked it. His hands are strong.
Like, I didn't like that. And so moving forward, I've always gotten women.
Okay.
But I've gotten women that do that shit too hard. And I'd be like, yo, man, tone that shit down a notch.
Take it back, Gertrude. you ain't going to need elbows to fuck.
Look at here, Francesca. Them hands looking a little too thick right now.
Like, ooh, you using kettlebells? What the fuck? How you get that strong, yo? Bro, and not for nothing. So, like, staying with that, though, I have had them tell me, oh, the towel, it's up to you. Like, I have had massage. Yeah, they'll go, like, whatever you're comfortable with. Or even underwear. Like, yo, underwear on or off, like, it's up to you. Or, like, towel. Like, they'll be like, oh, we'll cover, you know, like, just your... Hey, yo, and I've had them literally cover just my... cash and prizes, bro. Like put the towel smaller. Huh? Yeah. So I'm like,
oh, wow.
So when you hear this stuff with him, you're like, all right, bro, he's obviously comfortable enough to just be like, oh, I'll be ass naked here. The shit with him always infuriates me, bro, because you're like, bro, you don't have to try that hard. You're Deshaun Watson, bro. Like, it's just, you don't have to try that hard, bro.
He did say that there were a few, like, I want to say he said 3 that they actually had sexual relations, whether it was oral sex or actual sex. But then those were like after the fact. But then it came out that he tried to like settle with a few of these chicks. As, you know, a few of these 23 now, right?
23, yeah, goddamn, bro.
Yeah, man. I just, you know, I kind of, you know, listen. I hope. Listen, I wish the best for everybody, but it's like, if somebody call you if 23 people call you a crackhead, you were smoking a crack at one time, bro.
There, bro. And I wonder, yo, do you think that has a lot to do with? Obviously, he's Deshaun Watson, right? Star quarterback, high school, probably star quarterback, college, star quarterback. Like,
just been a star forever.
The thing forever that normally he can walk into a room and drop his pants or his towel, or whatever the fuck, and most chicks are like, I'm like, and like he never sort of matured enough to go like, bro, you ain't even got to try that hard no more, like. These are adult women. Like, you just go around and ask, and they'll be like, nah, and then you move on to the next one, bro. Like,
right.
And yeah, bro. Like, you ain't got to try that hard. You're a professional athlete. Like, I think that's the part that it's disgusting. I feel bad for these girls. You put them in these uncomfortable positions, and then for him, I'm like, you're so stupid, bro. You're not ugly. You're rich. You know, you're a good looking guy. Like, you can. If you just want to get laid all the time, bro, it's probably pretty easy for you, bro. Like, it's just so strange, man, that somebody would go to these lengths. So, like, unless, bro, we talk about this shit all the time. Unless it's just like a fetish of his, you know what I mean? Like, it could also be that.
Right,
like,
but is the fetish the situation?
I don't know, bro.
I mean,
right? Yeah,
everybody.
Maybe the uncomfortable part is, or the not uncomfortable, but the I don't know, the not likelihood of it or whatever.
Right,
You know
like
what I
you
mean?
go into
Like
a situation where you're not supposed to have sex,
Right.
and you do.
Yeah, you go into this normal-ish situation, and
Right.
yeah, you do that. So I don't know, man. Seems weird.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
We'll see. It'll be interesting to see. Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh, but with the Kyla Hayes chick, the other thing that I was looking at was she finishes the massage. So this is the second person.
Okay.
She finishes the massage, and then he reaches out to her again for another session, and she doesn't tell him flat out no, and she kind of gives him the runaround until finally he just stops reaching out. But in that situation, so like they asked her, like, why didn't you just, A, like, why don't you stop it? And then B, why don't you just after, or if not stopping it, then after, or when he reaches out again, just tell him no.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, I didn't want to like ruin my business. And I'm just like, okay, so then how much emotionally is this really affecting you? Where you are going, I've encountered a situation where this is not only uncomfortable, but it's not right. And I wasn't willing to stop it. But I don't want him to think that I'm a bitch or I'm a prude or whatever the case is. And I don't want that guy to bash my business. So I won't even say anything. I'll just kind of give him the runaround instead.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. It's weird, man.
I could see that though. Like if you're non-confrontational and you just sort of want to get it, like you said, you don't want the bad publicity side of it, but you're uncomfortable. You're too like, yeah, it's a tough position to be
tough,
in, man. It really is because you're dealing with somebody who is pretty powerful in your community. Like all things
has a lot of influence.
Has a lot of influence. Yeah, so I could see that, man. His whole shit baffles me to the point where I go, is there something psychologically wrong with this guy? Clearly, like there's got to be like a, I don't know, man, a maturity level thing or like
I think maybe, like you said, I think maybe like what you said, which I had not thought of before, which is
you're just so used to getting whatever you want.
Get what you want because you're the star,
and that's always worked in the past. Like who knows, bro? Like you write like in high school, you get the team that's doing sports medicine like classes, and maybe the girls there, you're like, oh yeah, massage me here. And they're like, oh, and you just got used to. Probably even the guys. Like, can I kiss it? and then you get to college and you figure like, bro, even in college you figure there's a lot of like the sports medicine majors and yada yada yada, and he's probably get used to those girls being like, oh yeah, it's Deshaun Watson, he's the star at Clemson, and like I wonder if it's just part of that whole like he probably doesn't even see anything wrong with it. Maybe in his mind he's going, yeah, I'm Deshaun Watson, bro. Who's not gonna wanna? And then like maybe there's that. Like I don't know.
Like you said, if doing that in the past if he's had success, right. If you have success in something long enough, then eventually, bro, you just go, this is the way it is,
dude. So if you have 23 accusers, did you try it 100 times?
That's what I'm thinking.
This
man.
is the one.
How many are
not?
That's what
I'm saying.
Like how many are not reporting it?
Because if you get it 23 times, I'm telling you what, bro, you're not doing it that many times if you're not getting a good like hit rate. You know what I'm saying? Like something tells him to keep going. like you gotta applaud his.
It's been more than 3.
He's sticking to the program, bro. Like you gotta applaud his get it done attitude, bro. It's fucking like.
No, but I if it's the situation of those women kind of being like scarred, right? Like I guess that would be considered like a traumatic experience. However, none of them have said like. He never forced himself.
Yeah.
Right? So he never, nothing like that. It was just
creepy.
He put them in these uncomfortable situations.
I also think what is it when it's like when you're clearly a more influential figure, you're stronger from a physical standpoint, but also like socially, right? You're a sort of an imposing figure on these women. Like, I guess that is considered a form of abuse, right? Because you're sort of taking advantage of your status and stature, like
yeah.
So, because I also don't know what it's like to be a woman, right? And be 5'2" and 130 pounds and, like in walks, like Deshaun Watson's probably like 6'5" and fucking 250 and whatever, like.
Right.
I think there's certain things as men we probably take for granted because, like people aren't trying to take advantage of us around every corner. Like, obviously because of the either physically or strained for whatever it is. Like I mean, not strained, physically or just like a respect level thing or I don't know, man. Because we're more of a threat.
Intimidated.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
whatever.
So I don't know, man. Like I also feel like there's a part of that here that I don't know what it's like to be a woman. So, you know, so then is he an abuser because maybe he knows that, like, oh yeah, I'm clearly in a stronger position than they're in. Like, yeah, that shit baffles me, man.
Yeah, I would imagine that he doesn't think that he's an abuser,
right?
But
I feel like he thinks he's taking advantage of his stature of the situation. Right. Yeah. Whether socially,
almost like throwing it out there, and then if you don't take, then I'm on to the next one.
I mean, yeah, dude,
this is a better way to do it.
This is a better way to do it. But honestly, bro, if this was a woman and she was gonna get a massage and she decided to take her top off and she was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna wear underwear," and yo, I need you to massage near my junk, like, we wouldn't care. And then, in fact, there's probably a lot of massage therapist dudes out there with some great stories. Probably, you know what I mean? Like, who are like, bro, I had this one today. Like, and who knows how many of those guys have the exact same story for the exact same person. But, like, I guess what changes it is the fact that she's not physically imposing. Like, the fact that they feel like this guy's sort of in control. Like, if he wants to be removed from the situation, he could without repercussions physically or, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's so bizarre. It's a double-edged sword, like, for sure. Because I feel like if you like, I feel like I don't want to give him an excuse, right? Because it is kind of creepy behavior.
No, it's not really an excuse, man. We're just,
but like, because like you said, yo, 20-some people, bro. That means you've done this 100 times, and these are just the 20-some that
came forward.
Yeah. And listen, man, you shoot your shot. like if your thing is like, yo, but like to me, then just be more upfront about it. Like, yo, I want massages, bro. Like, I
want a happy ending.
I want a happy ending, and then give them the chance to say no. Like, all right, cool, bet. Like,
yep.
Like, throw it out there. Is that even is that illegal? I don't know. Maybe it is. I guess it depends on what state.
Is it?
Like, if you say y'all want a massage with a happy ending, I guess it is illegal. It's kind of prostitution, right? It's a sexual favor.
I don't know.
Maybe not in Nevada, but like,
shit. Go to Kissimmee. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of Asian fucking.
There's a lot of them
places over there.
Kissimmee, there's
really
a lot of them, bro. See them bitches on the news every other day, bro. There's a lot of them in Kissimmee, man.
Why you gotta blow up Kissimmee like that?
Yo, sorry. I meant a pop gun.
Yo, man, we gotta touch on this shit, man. This Texas school shooting, man, which I don't like. I mean, there's been a lot of this week. If any of you guys have been paying attention to the news, which this is a week that if you did not, good for you.
Yeah,
like I wanted to turn it all off. Obviously had in the last whatever. Actually, this was probably about 8-9 days ago, right? Texas school shooting, Robb Elementary School. Guy goes in there and basically kills a bunch of fourth graders, right? Was it like 19 fourth graders, 2 teachers?
Like that, man, yes.
And it was just like, it's nuts, man. How he got in, which they're disputing now. It came out in the beginning that it was a teacher that propped the door open. Now they're saying that she did, but then she closed it. So they're not really sure how the hell that guy got in. They said that guy was in there, and I read a couple of things. I don't know which one is true. One of them said he was in there for like 77 minutes. The other one said 50-something minutes.
The other one says like 40 minutes before the cops went in. Like they sat outside, like cops sat outside the room for 40 minutes.
Dude, I thought, I was like, none of those cops had kids in there.
Clearly not, because did you see there was parents going in and taking their kids out?
No.
Parents went into the school physically and took their kids out, like they're fighting against cops and stuff. There was then the only reason they wound up storming it supposedly was because then you had this massive group of parents on the outside going like, "No, we're going in," and they were basically forming like a little militia to go inside, and then the cops finally intervened. And the only reason, like, at first I thought it was like, okay, this has got to be bullshit. But then I saw the police chief guy go like, yeah, we sat outside way too long. Clear in hindsight, based on the information they had at the time, they made the best decision. But hindsight, obviously, it was the wrong one, kind of thing. Which I'm like, yo, that's not what you want to hear as a fucking parent, that you sat outside a room while this dude was just blasting up.
But kids, you know what, man? I think I kind of think in one situation you go, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Like if you go in and rush in. There's also a possibility that this dude is, and again, I don't know if he had already fired.
Yeah.
Had he not already fired, right? If you go, okay, we got a gunman in there, but he hasn't fired yet, we're gonna negotiate. but I don't know what the timeline was when he went in there to when he began firing. I do know that they said there was, which was kind of creepy. He gets into the class where he kills the students.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, what do we have here?"
Yeesh.
Yeah, and goes about his business.
Dude, yeah, and I saw there was like a Border Patrol agent. I wish I knew his name, but the Border Patrol agent was the one who stormed in finally and got him. Like it's like a border,
like an
patrol
off-duty
agent. Like
guy,
an off-duty
right?
Border
What
Patrol
was he
agent.
doing? Was he a parent?
I think he was just happened to be nearby, hearing. I don't know if he's heard radio chatter or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
And he happened to just storm it. There were parents who went in and got their kids out. They were climbing fences and shit to the school, like just doing crazy stuff. Bro, there's so many layers to this. Like, first of all, like the fact that this happened in Texas, in the state where everybody carries a gun, you know, supposedly, and everybody's openly carrying a weapon and all this stuff, and you just go, okay, so there goes the whole argument for, oh, if we just armed everyone, then shit like this wouldn't happen more, because everyone's fucking armed here.
Well, clearly the parents weren't armed.
Yeah, that.
Right, because you figure, like, if you had, and I wonder, is that different, though, right? If you have a bunch of parents standing outside that are armed, and the cops aren't doing anything, and they go, no, we're going in.
Now we're going in. But, bro, so now let me play devil's advocate if you're a cop. If you're a cop living in a city where everyone can openly carry a gun, it means I can walk to a school holding my gun.
Yeah.
At what point do you shoot me?
When I feel threatened.
Yeah. So then, like, it goes.
But that's up for interpretation.
Right. So then you go, okay, so I'm allowed to walk. I'm allowed to get to. So by the time you realize I'm a threat, it's probably too late. I'm getting somebody, unless you're a good enough shot to where I lift up a gun and then you kill me. But if I can walk around with a gun, shouldn't I be able to lift it up, move it around, probably get a shot off? Like, unless I point it at you, you're probably not gonna, you know, like, I think this like the whole crowd of like give everybody a gun, or I think this goes against the whole, and I don't want to turn this into something political because it's not. I think the fact that this shit is political is the problem. I just feel like this is sort of like the counter argument for, or this is the unintended consequence of having a community where you can carry a gun. Law enforcement, we've already seen that they're not really good at determining what is a threat and what isn't a threat, and like when people do or don't have guns, or they suspect that they have a gun or whatever. So now can you imagine if you have a community full of people with guns, how do you decipher the good guys from the bad guys? How do you decide? Like, I'm assuming they go through some kind of training or whatever to go through that, but then like if everyone has a gun, bro, like, and they're all law-abiding citizens because they're allowed to do that, at what point does it then become like a justified shooting of that person? Do they have to shoot 19 kids for you to go, fuck, I think this guy's got bad intentions? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. The one kid obviously would be the thing, but like, this is the problem with you being able to just walk around with a gun and walk around with an assault rifle and walk around like dude, this guy presumably in Texas could have just walked through a grocery store, and until he starts popping off, you don't know that he's got bad intentions.
Yeah, wow. And isn't DeSantis is trying to
yeah,
pass
they're
that
trying
here.
to openly carry here without you having to do a whole like
the background check,
not even the
and all
background
that,
check,
right?
but the whole concealed carry permit here, where you have to take the class and learn how to, you know, whatever. Like, we don't even, I mean, forget the background check. Like, this is a
why
like
wouldn't
concealed
you
carry,
want
bro.
that? I don't understand.
It's because it's political, bro. Like, it's just like
it's like, what are you trying to get to?
we've gotten, yo, man, and I know, and I blame social media. I have like these thoughts here that I kind of put down. Like, bro, we've gotten into this like dopamine driven state of the world right now, right? Where we scroll, and we're looking for affirmation and never information. And we get these dopamine hits, and they usually come from someone agreeing with you, or someone like, you know, someone tells you the government's out to take your shit, or the government, yeah. And then like, we just thrive off of this. And then, so what it's done, man, it's like eliminated discourse. It's like eliminated people cooperating with each other. It's eliminated like common sense. It's almost like if like us saying like, yeah, man, maybe we should have a conversations about, listen, the whole gun thing isn't the end all be all of this debate. Absolutely. But the fact that we can't even like bring that up and have a reasonable conversation around a table from people of two sides of the aisle, because that's what it is now. It's fucking crazy to me, like, that we go, yo, man, this shit happens here a lot. I don't know what the answer is, but we should be allowed to talk about it. Like, whether we go, hey, it's mental illness, or hey, it's the fact that there's so many guns, or hey, it's, I don't know, people want to blame video games or TV shows or whatever, you know, like, we can't even have a conversation now because it's immediately you're like side A or side B politically, and so it never moves forward. It's just strange. Like, I've never seen some like people more unwilling to come to a solution ever just to be right. You know, like, I don't know
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Did you see that they had the NRA had some convention that was
The same
scheduled?
week?
Yeah, it was scheduled that
Yeah.
week, and it was funny, man. So I guess there was some people that was going like, "Yo, it's probably not a good time for that. Like, let's reschedule."
Yeah.
And then they said no, that they couldn't. That they would have faced a bunch of fines.
It's in poor taste, bro, at that. And so I do commend, there's politicians I saw in Texas that did, like, withdraw from it.
Yep.
Politicians who were super pro-gun,
Yep.
who said, like, yeah, in good conscience, I can't do this right now, which I think is the right move.
But is that a political move, or is that a? I guess it's all it's all political.
It's all
Fuck it.
political, but if you think about it, if you're the right-leaning party and you step out of that, it's political suicide, right? Like, it's immediately your party sort of distances itself from you, because that's not what you're supposed to do, because politically you're supposed to be the Second Amendment and you go forward and whatever. Like, it's odd to me, man, that, like, we can never have common sense around things like this. Like, again, man, this shit happens here a lot, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know what the answer is, because, like, first you got to address the, like, what makes people think that this is okay, or what makes people not okay, because obviously you're not
Right.
thinking.
No one's saying it's okay.
But why is it that this is the go-to? What drives people to do shit like this? Like, I feel like we need to get to, like, what is it that, I don't know, man. And then why is it that we can't sit around and go, yeah, this is kind of a problem. Like, can we brainstorm some solutions here without it being like, well, fuck you, you're team red or you're team blue, or you know, like, it just seems odd to me, man. Like, and the gun debate is always the, you know, you get the people who are so, like, I think walls up or blinders on about the gun debate, where you can't even bring up the fact that, like, yeah, maybe we probably should have universal background checks, and people immediately shun that. And you're like, yo, we also live in a place where I can't have a beer until I'm 21, but I can have bullets. Like, just like common sense at some point has to prevail. You know what I mean? Like, It's just so bizarre. It's like, listen, I'm not smart enough to know what the answer is to solve this, but I do feel like everything is on the table. Like, you like, dude, I think we were on number 215 mass shootings this year.
Is that right?
170 days in, or whatever the fuck it was, bro. And I don't think anybody else has double digits, like, in the world.
Let me give you some more facts on that, man. So they had, since 1970, 2,032 school shootings.
That's just school shootings.
Just school.
Just school. Okay.
Since Sandy Hook, which is a big one, right? That was big in the in the press and the media. That was in 2012. 948 since then.
So more than half, or almost half. Sorry.
So almost half since 2012.
That's crazy.
So you get the other half was 42 years.
So it's clearly happening more now in the schools.
Correct.
Dude, I don't know if you remember, you were an adult already, I guess, at this point, when Columbine happened.
Yep.
That was, like, huge.
That was huge, yeah.
Like, it was, like, unheard of. Like, it was, like, really big, to the point where it was a running joke. Like, whenever, like, you would, like, you know, you would make fun of the kids, be like, oh, that's a crazy kid, that's a Columbine. Or, like, we had that running joke for, like, a decade of, like, because it was so rare and so, like, just absurd that something like that would happen at that time. Which, obviously, I mean, it happened, but it was the one big one that stuck out for a long time. And now it's like,
and where's Columbine? Is that Colorado?
It was in Colorado.
Okay.
And then, like, yeah, man, I don't know, bro. Like, so you said, what is it? 900 something have happened since Sandy Hook.
948.
Honestly, after Sandy Hook, I remember thinking, like, and I saw this quote somewhere too. It was like, after that, bro, the gun debate sort of just, everybody lost that, because the minute I think we decided that we didn't care enough to have a discussion and remove our political ideologies and go, guys, let's come to the table and talk. I think the minute that you were okay with losing 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds and all that to protect your right to bear arms, it's like, yeah, we're never gonna come to a resolution to this, because it's like we can't even have a better response other than Second Amendment. Like, it's like, okay, we're not saying take them away. We're saying, like, yo, should we, as responsible gun owners, should we all have a conversation about, like, what should we have to go through so that we're not stripped of our guns, other than fucking protesting and yelling, like, keep our guns, like.
And I find it really odd that it's in the same time frame where in this country we're talking about abortion. And that side that is very pro-gun, which I'm not anti-gun.
Yeah, neither am I.
I was a Marine. Like listen, you want to have your guns, like, have your guns.
Yeah.
Like, I have no issues.
Have
with
at
that.
it.
But to your point of being able to sit down and just going, like, yo, we got a problem. And no, you know, guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Sure.
But when we embrace or when we give people a means to sort of kill massive amounts of people in a short period of time. Like if let's just say all guns were gone and you had really sharp knives and swords, right?
Right.
You're not mass killing people.
No.
Like it's just you can't.
You can't. Yeah.
Like if you stand there while I'm have my sword and you didn't run away,
you deserve to get stabbed, bro.
You know what I mean?
Like that's on you.
Right. And so and again, I'm not anti-gun. Not necessarily pro-gun either. I really don't give a shit.
I just don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't care. But we have a problem, and I just find it really strange how the same side that is going pro-gun is going, but don't kill humans.
Yeah, pro-life.
Yeah, pro-life. Don't kill humans. I'm just like, okay, so which one is, you got to come to some sort of happy medium, man, of what makes sense.
Well, I think we've all established that like both political sides, it's all hypocrites, bro. Like they're all gonna spew whatever sort of gets them into office and whatever sort of moves their base. And it's so strange, bro, because the base, it's people like us, right? Like, so then like why is it that we aren't, like, what is it that's changed? What is it that we're being fed that's kept us from being able to use like common sense, like, and think for ourselves? Like, right? Like now, like we know people who, we talk about this all the time, who go, I always vote X no matter what.
Right.
Who are like incapable of thinking of coming up with their own like original thoughts or their own ideas. Like they need to be told by the team, hey, this is what you think and this is what you should think. Like what is it that like led to that? Like why is it that we can't have like political, like discourse and be civil? Why is it that we can't have like that we can't like filter out the misinformation? Like why is it like the only thing I can think of, man, it's honestly, man, it's like social media, it's the news, it's the internet. Like it's like we're fed so much of these little dopamine hits that like they make us feel good or they make us feel reaffirmed, and they make like, and maybe that just outweighs the common sense side of us that just goes like, yeah, maybe we should have a conversation about it. Like I said, man, listen, I'm a fucking moron, bro. I don't know what the answer to this shit is. It happens so often that like, but I do know, like, I hate to use this like sort of basic ass logic, but it's like, we use seatbelts. You know what I mean? Like, and that's obviously reduced deaths in car accidents by a lot. Like,
and that's a law.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, so the gun thing, like we can't, like to me, common sense. And like I said, I'm not anti-gun, I'm not pro-gun. It doesn't matter to me either way. But like, I should think that you should have to get trained and pass some courses and go through a lot to get a gun.
It's responsibility, bro. Like when we give kids really the right to drive, right? You're essentially driving a 2,000-pound vehicle at high speeds, and you can do a lot of damage. And what do you got to do for that? You got to go and get your permit first, right? You take a test for that, and then you going through, if you're going through driver's ed or whatever, you have to go take a test. You have to go through training, to go and drive a vehicle. Why would it be any different for a gun, which its only purpose
is to kill.
To kill or inflict harm.
That's it. Yeah. Whether in self-defense or not, like whatever the argument is, the whole purpose of it is to kill someone
or inflict harm or disable
disable. Yeah. Why wouldn't we want people to get trained in that? It's just beyond me. And then the fact that us even saying that, right, immediately divides 50% of the audience is crazy to me, because I go like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like people want their guns and want their stuff, cool. I'm just going, yo, if you're a responsible gun owner, shouldn't you want it to be harder for the irresponsible gun owners to get one? And I hate this logic of like, well, wrongdoers are gonna do wrong and stuff anyway. That's true. You know what absolutely, but you know what an 18-year-old like this kid can't do? Walk into a fucking Walmart and buy a gun, right? Like he might go on YouTube and figure out how to make a pipe bomb, and maybe he gets 3 people out of school, and then you get him. Like, listen, this is not going to be 100% effective. Nothing is. But you just go, all right, does it reduce? Like, if we have 200 mass shootings a year, if changing gun laws changes 20 of them, seems worth it. Like, if there's a 10% reduction in mass shootings a year because you change a gun law, seems pretty reasonable,
dude. Like, to go hunting in a state, you have to get a license. To get a license, you have to go through a course.
Yeah.
Like, it
Dude, you and I have looked at this all the time about getting certified to go scuba diving.
Yep.
you have to go through how many, it's like weeks.
Oh my God, yeah.
And that's to be responsible for
your own life.
Yeah. It's like, yo, no, we need to make sure you know how to breathe underwater correctly with this apparatus before we let you go.
Right.
But I can walk into Walmart and buy a gun. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, it's just not logical. And then I hate the, like, all the arguments for it are so antiquated. Like, the whole, like, well, forks don't make people fat. Well, forks aren't designed to kill people. Or, like, you know, like, whenever you get the people like, oh, you have to stand up to your government. Yeah, the guys with missiles, bro, guess what? If the government wants you gone, bro, you're fucking gone. Like this idea that this thing written 200 something years ago, and I love it, is like, you can't change it. It's in the Constitution. It was a fucking amendment, bro. That shit means change. Like, it wasn't in the original version. You know, like, it's just like no argument for it holds up. So it's just one of those things where, like, no, can you just admit that, like, you just want it? Like, we just want guns. We have this obsession with guns. We have this thing where, for whatever fucking reason, we associate being American with being able to own a gun. And then openly admit, like, no other country in the world has this problem. Like, I love even the mental illness aspect. It's like, oh, so are we the only mentally ill country in the world? Because nobody else has this fucking problem. Apparently, right? No one else has this problem. And then I love the guys who go, like, oh, it's mental illness. It's like, well, you know, like, you get, like Ted Cruz is here talking about fucking arming teachers and doing all this stuff. It's like, bro, you won't even give them books and fucking supplies, but you're going to give them guns? Yeah, let's give the person making $50K a year a gun and catch them on a bad day. What could possibly go wrong?
Better yet, bro, dude. In I don't know if this is nationwide or not. In my kids' high school, you have to be trained to break up a fight.
Yep, here it's Orange County in general.
Right.
And, yeah.
So and I'm in Osceola County. So you can't even break up a fight, but you want to give the teachers guns,
bro.
Like, that's, and then what? Without training? But I guess, I mean, you know. It's really strange,
it's like,
bro.
the fact that you would jump to that over going, yeah, maybe I should make it harder in my state to get a gun, that you immediately jump to, let's give teachers guns. It's fucking crazy to me, bro. Like, it's like, I don't even know how do you respond to that,
dude. And the fact that it's been very political, right? It kind of drove me to go, what do I, like, as a parent, like, what do I want for my kids in the future? And I thought about the fact that we only do, like, red team, blue team, right? Democrats, Republicans. Now, every time we go in and vote, let's say for president, there's always these other parties, right? You got Green Party, you got Libertarian, you got, I don't know, the Tea Party, you got, you know, whatever. You got all these different, but none of them ever gain traction. Isn't the whole piece of a democracy is to kind of have choice? And then I started thinking, like, so as a voter, should I be looking at, should I go, all right, my generation is fucked as far, we're Democrat, Republicans, probably until I die, and possibly beyond. Should my motive be to, or should my action be to vote anything other than Democrat, Republican for the rest of my life, just to help the other parties gain traction so that the future generations have actual choice?
You make enough of a wave that it'll...
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I feel like for my whole lifetime doing that, I'll probably be essentially what people would say was be throwing my vote away. But if it helps another party, another ideology to gain traction so that the people of this country actually have more choices in the future with how they want the country to be run, maybe that's the best thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore, man, because I feel like you have to unprogram so many. Like you said, our kids may not be this, like, left, right, or maybe they're worse. I don't know. Like, maybe they're worse in one direction. Like, it's just odd to me, man. Like, and I don't know how you fix that, if ever, or if it's even possible. Like, how do you fix, I think, a society that's, like, hell-bent on, we're tribal, right? And then we're hell-bent on belonging to these tribes, and there's nothing you're going to do to change our minds, no matter, because, again, man, dude, the minute we decide that, like, kids dying in school isn't enough of a thing for us to sort of lower our shields and go, all right, man, yeah, we should probably talk about this. Like, what do you guys think? Like, what do we, like, let's come to the table. Like, the fact that even then we're like, guns don't kill people, people do, you know, it's like, it's just odd, like, to me. And again, I don't know what the answer is, but the fact that everything isn't on the table is bonkers to me, man. Like it's just and then you have politicians over here defending that and then going, dude, I don't know, but like in the school here that my kids go to, I can't get into the school at all without going into the front office. And then the front office has like double doors. It's like one to get into the front office, then one from the front office to get into the actual school. Like, I'm going to assume the person's got to go in there. They got to murder the front desk people. Then you got to hit the button to get into the rest of the school. Like, it's harder. There's also a cop there that I happen to know that I went to high school with the cop, man.
Oh, that's cool.
And he walks around with an assault rifle. I think it's an AR or whatever they issue to the cops. And he's like, no, like it's purposely done because you basically, there's a name for it, but essentially, so sometimes in morning drop off, he's walking the car loop line with his assault rifle, and it's an intimidation tactic. It's like if someone's scoping out or someone's thinking about it, it's like, well, that guy's there.
Yeah, it's like having a dog at your house.
It is.
They go
it's
right,
exactly like that.
Like I could probably get through it, but there's easier targets elsewhere.
And he's got like a whole plan in place of like, there's places where the gun's hidden. There's places where he goes and no one else goes. There's like views that he has. There's rooms that he keeps his weapons in that not even the teachers know. There's like all this shit that goes into it. And there's drills for the kids. Get under the fucking desk and stuff, like all this stuff that we're going like, you guys have to do this because we can't absolutely not have a conversation about controlling gun. You like, it's like, so you guys figure out how to hide under a desk really fast, hopefully faster than your neighbor. And then like, and then you have a cop, which I will say, as a parent, I feel better that he's there. But it's fucking sad. So do you turn schools into like airports where you funnel everyone through one entrance and one entrance only? And, they're going through metal detectors and they're going through this whole shit and like a prison. You know how prison has like a fence before the fence? Like, do you turn it into that? Like, is that the answer? Like, dude, to me, everything's on the table. So it's like, do you turn it into that? Do you turn every public space into that? Like, fuck schools. Do you just take every concert, every hospital? Because I saw one today in Tulsa, like a medical facility today before we got on air. It was like, do you turn every place that has a potential for a public mass gathering into a double fenced layer thing of you're going through security and metal detectors and all that just to minimize? Like, yeah, you could off people on the outside, but maybe you minimize the amount of people you can get before. Like, I don't know. Like, is that the length we're willing to go to? Are we willing to go to live in a society that feels like a prison? Every public thing that we do.
I feel like if you're not willing to make changes in the laws, and again, I don't know what the answer is. Whether it's making it harder to get guns, making everybody who gets guns go through the background check and training, on how to use it. Fuck, man, maybe that is the right move. Maybe you have to do that.
You have to do. Did you see? I think I had to look it up, man. It's been a while. There was a school up north somewhere, Midwest, like Minnesota or Chicago or something like that, and they installed an entire system in their school where it's basically like a surveillance system. It has like fucking gas and shit that comes out. The way the hallways are set up, there's multiple doors where if they have a school shooter incident, you can basically confine them to a certain part of the school. So you lock down the doors so they're bolted.
Then put in fucking sleeping gas.
And then there's like fucking sleeping gas or like smoker and like all kinds of shit, bro, that they've installed in the school as a deterrent. And it's like, do you do that everywhere? Then do schools become a place where you have like a guy behind a fucking desk who's looking at all these screens going like, lock down sector 7, there's a fucking active shooter there, and let out the tear gas or whatever the fuck, like.
And then, dude, if you do that, which I'm not saying is the wrong thing to do, but in the public schools, at least here, I don't want to say everywhere, but at least here, they're asking parents to bring in shit every year.
Yeah, I gotta bring in pencils and shit and pens
because they can't get
supplies. But they're willing to spend money to arm teachers or to turn the school into a pseudo prison. Like,
bro, like, where's the priorities, man?
Dude, the priority lies in like protecting our right to bear arms by any means necessary. Which is, again, I'm not anti-gun, man. I just feel like everyth's on the table.
No,
like,
and I do.
It just infuriates me that we're not willing to have conversations, bro. Yep. And infuriates me not willing to have conversations illogically. Like, the argument is literally like these, again, it's red team versus blue team, and that's it. That's really what it boils down to, man. It's just it's kind of sad.
But I also think, man, with stuff like this, and I hate that we're going on this for so long, but the society that we live in here in the States, we glorify violence. Our sports, our action heroes, it's everything. It's all violence, man. I mean, if you look at most popular sport in America is the NFL. I mean, you got NHL hockey, you got MMA, you got boxing. Like, seeing people get beat the fuck down is, you know, like, I mean, even going back to the Roman times, right? Like, that's
it's always been part of our
always
society.
been kind of part of what humanity, like, we like to see violence. We almost like to live sort of vicariously through, right, other people. Like, we don't want to get that shit done to us, right?
Yeah.
But and I just wonder, like, does that come into play here? Because if we've had, you know, over the last whatever 40 50 years, 2,000 just school shootings, forget about everything else that happens. And you said what, 200 and something incidences?
200 something mass shootings already this
year.
Yeah, it's already like 40 or 50 more than we have days
Right.
in a year. Yeah.
But I think that as a society, we're becoming so numb to it, man. It's almost like, oh, mass shooting, you know, and then you keep scrolling
Yep.
through your news feed.
I did that
Yeah.
for this, and as horrible as it is, right? It's 19 kids.
This one
bro.
stopped me because I was like, fuck, elementary school.
I
But
didn't
then-
even flinch, bro.
But then when I went through all of like the different schools, somebody a friend of mine on Facebook posted, I don't know how many, I didn't count, but it was like, let's say 1,000 schools that had been that had, you know, shootings, and I was just like, fuck, man, like, why, you know, like, how is this happening and we're not doing anything about it?
Parkland was in Florida. How
Florida,
long ago?
yep. Not long ago,
Not
man.
long ago, man. Like, dude, it's funny. I saw this, but I was scrolling and I went, "Oh, that's wild," and I kept scrolling.
Yeah,
Like,
I think if it was fourth graders, for me, I was like, fuck, man.
Well, it should have, and I think that's what bothered me. Like, to your point about we're so desensitized, like we're just violence driven. Like, I'm so desensitized to it at this point that I just go, "Oh wow, that's crazy," and I literally kept scrolling, bro. The last thing mass shooting wise that impacted me was I saw the video of the supermarket one that happened recently.
Yep.
And the guy recorded himself in that POV.
Yeah.
Seeing
different,
that
bro.
hit me differently because you have the video of it and you can see it and you're watching it from his angle and you're like, there's something about that feels more intimate and you're like, fuck, man, you gotta be twisted to do some shit like that. Like,
And that dude got out of the car,
Yeah, dude.
and just started shooting before he went inside.
Yep.
Before he went inside the supermarket,
and then apologizes to the white person for shit, like just
for scaring him.
for scaring him. Like, it's just so weird. Like that one, I remember watching that going, fuck, that gave me chills. Like, that was weird. But as far as like reading headlines now, man, very few make me stop, like, or think, or like, I do remember seeing this one going like, oh fuck, man, that's a bunch of kids, and then like, and it goes to the next one, like whatever it was, like, and that's not, I don't say that to be insensitive. I say that to say like it's so normal now, and maybe it's so normal for my generation too. Like, I'm 35, man. Like, like Columbine was the first one. I've seen 1,000 ever since. Like, and not just school shootings, but like mass shootings in general, man. I've seen the Vegas ones. I've seen the ones in Orlando. I've seen the ones in Parkland. I've seen and I've seen the thoughts and prayers. And then I've seen it just go back to fucking normal. Nobody talks about it ever again after that. So like in my mind, it's just like, oh, there's another one. Like, cool. Like, did the Yankees win today? Like, it's literally just become that normal, man. Like, it's just, and it's fucking sad. I hate it because, you know, you don't send your kids to school as a parent. Fucking getting that call has to be gutting, bro. I don't even know how you like respond or move on from something like that. Like, it's not to say that I don't empathize with these parents. Like, that has to feel I don't know what that feeling is. There's not a word for that, but I think the fact that I didn't even pause there as a parent just shows how much of it I've seen at this point, that I'm so desensitized to it all, man. Like, I started to feel bad for not feeling bad enough, you know, like, if that makes sense. Yeah.
There was a lady who went in, like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes before the guy got there, and she went to pull her kid out of school for something, and got a girl out of school, and then the guy comes in, does what he does, and like, she actually felt bad for pulling out her kid because of all of the kids that died, and it was a couple like family members of the girl that she pulls out. But man, like, She's got it. You got. I mean, I can see you feel bad, but you got to be so grateful.
Yeah, did you see like? And I think this one, because the town is small, there was so many like firsthand accounts of like, you saw like the paramedic like found out that his daughter died because he was attending to like her best friend.
Yeah, it seemed like a very tight.
It's very tight. Yeah, so it's like the fact that it happened in a community that small, the first responders and a lot of people like had kids in the school. Like it was just.
But none of the cops did.
That's what I'm saying.
That seems
like, it's
odd,
just
man.
strange, bro. Like or the cops going in pulling out their own kids, probably, and then like, because I've heard that. I don't know if it's true, it's confirmed, but I've heard like there was even cops going to like their kids' classrooms and pulling them out, but never approaching the guy in the classroom that he was already in.
Oh wow!
Which I feel like we could spend an hour on those guys, man. Like, listen, I don't know what it's like to be a cop, bro, but you fucking signed up to do that.
And I'm not even mad at you for going to get your kid first.
No.
But then get him out and then stay in there.
Bro,
and
y'all
get
like the chitty
out.
bang bang so much. This is a perfect opportunity to fucking chitty bang bang, bro. Like obviously there's kids in the room, but like there's an active guy. Like to me, it kind of shows the bitch assness of the whole thing of like, it also shows that all the other arguments are garbage. Like, oh, the feeling threatened or the, like, I don't know, bro. And I also feel like there's a part of this that hasn't been brought up yet, which is what I said earlier. This is the unintended consequence of living in a community where this kid can literally walk around with a gun like that or strapped around his shoulder,
right,
and you can't really stop him and say, like, because he's well within his rights, right? And so like by the time you find out his intentions aren't pure, he's already offed a few people, right?
Yeah.
Like, so like when you can walk into a supermarket, bro, with a gun, you like, bro, anything's possible. Hell breaks loose. So do you think it's tough to be a cop now where you think someone has a gun in their pocket? What happens if you're a cop when you know they have a gun and you can't shoot him because it is okay for him to have a gun? Like, does that make it better, worse? Like, I just don't know.
Fuck,
yeah. So like if we're shooting when we think they have one, then how do you respond when you know they have one but it's okay for them to have one? Like, it's fucking, I don't know, bro. I don't know what the answer is to this shit, man, but we're the only country in the world that has this problem. And we're also the only country in the world that, like, we own more guns than anybody else in the world, right? Like, and our population is what, top 5, maybe 10?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Do you think that other countries look at us and go, those motherfuckers are crazy?
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
But then does that play to our advantage?
Yeah, because I think it also does, because they go like, these motherfuckers don't care. Like,
they kill their own people.
They kill their own people. Like, they're that ruthless. Like, I think it also plays into the whole, like, that nobody goes to war with us, because they're like, nah, bro, y'all 18-year-olds walking around with bombs and shit. Like, it's like, dude, I'll never forget. I think I told the story on here when I was messing around with the dude in London. It was like a mass stabbing when I was there.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
were going ape, and we were talking about it over like lunch or something with some people that I worked with. And I was like, amateurs. Like, a 15-year-old in Florida gets like way more bodies than that. It's like a joke, but it's also sad because it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like.
And did you just say mass stabbing?
Yeah, it was a mass stabbing, bro.
What you have 2 people?
Nah, and like more. That's why I was fucking dying, bro, because he ran on like the London Bridge and he was going like just shanking people left and right.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, bro. And I think we talked about it on here, and I was like, yo.
That's when I was like, cut off my leg.
Let's say it was like, yep, that was it, bro. And let's say he stabbed 10 people. I go, 9 of them deserved it. Like, how the fuck you stabbed that many people, bro? No, there's no fucking way. So like, but I do remember having the joke to them, like, amateur. This fucking, we got 15-year-olds in America to pull that shit off and wait in faster time. We're more efficient. like, it's sad, but it's so true. But they all look at us like, I think the one thing that I get all the time is like, they don't understand the obsession with the gun thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's also countries that do have,
I don't really get it either,
high gun ownership.
But I do know that, part of the whole thing of being able to own guns is that we're able to stand up against like a tyrant type government.
Yeah, but are we? Like, bro, you think about what the government has now in terms of like, I think this is true in 1776.
No, but you got to also remember, man, that it's citizens that are part of the army, right?
Yeah.
So like, if we have tyrants and the citizen, right? Like, they're all right. Yes, we're soldiers, we're Marines, we're sailors, right? But we all have family back home, and if everybody goes like, yo, like this dude's doing the wrong thing, even the military personnel can turn against the government.
But couldn't you do that if just in sheer numbers, even if you don't have weapons? Like, if you don't have guns,
what?
But okay, so
yes, sorry.
that's what I'm saying, like you can overthrow, like Saddam Hussein, like those people didn't need weapons to overthrow Saddam Hussein, right? You just needed fucking 10,000 really pissed off people storming a building, like, or run them into a cage, like into a cave. Like you don't. The minute you lose control of your own military, the weapons thing becomes a moot point. Yeah, like that's why I just never understood that, because then the other part of it is like, and even if this government has control of the military, you're fucked. You're talking about the guys who can destroy an entire city from a cubicle. Like it's just so like I'm like, I get this argument in 1700s, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't hold water today, bro. No, because like
it's a good argument.
This is a guy in a cubicle somewhere where you go, yo, drop a bomb on Orlando. I'm sick of these motherfuckers over there running a mouth, and then just boom, it's over. Like there's no winning that ever. Like
he'd be like, "Why don't do it?" Be like, "No, I got family there."
Yeah, I got family.
Okay,
there.
Paul.
Yeah, you do it. Or we're gonna drop one in your hometown. And like, all right, fuck you, Juan. Like, so it's just an asinine argument.
Throw one in the brig.
Yeah, dude. I feel like we need to address. I think we need to have laws and rules and regulations, and people who enforce them and write them, and I guess debate them and enforce them, who are willing to change with the times. And we haven't been willing to change with the times. Like I think like everything we have right now that we hold dear is antiquated. It was written 250 years ago by people who didn't even think that people who were a different color than them deserved rights. So like we sit there and we go, nah, but they had to be right about this gun shit. Like it's just odd, man.
Dude, even the whole like with like Trump's slogan of the whole like "Make America Great Again."
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of people that you can talk to in this country where they'll go, "When the fuck was America great?" You know,
what does that insinuate? Yeah, it's like, what was the, I don't know, like, and I guess you could go like, oh, it was great. Do you go manufacturing era? Do you go great during the, like, I don't know, what was the height of the
again, you look at our 247 year history. There's not one particular spot where you go, oh, this was the sweet spot for everyone.
Yeah, no.
It's never like that.
No. Now, I think now is as close as we've been.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the greatest time.
Greatest time to be alive in this country.
In human history in this country.
Yeah, I'd say probably ever, but I would say in this country, I would probably say ever anywhere, but definitely in this country, the greatest time to be alive. If you're, like, again, depending on, or irrespective of what your background is, it's probably the greatest time. And I'm not saying that it's a perfect time. It's just better than any other time. Like, so, yeah, man. Fuck, I don't know, bro. And honestly, I don't know what the answer is, but I just feel like I'm just not as shut, I think, I just feel like we should be just more open-minded as to what the answer is and more solutions. I just know we're never going to get there because, unfortunately, we politicize everything. So...
Oh, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, dude. We'll see.
Well, I know we're really long on that. How are we doing on time?
Yeah, fuck. We're an hour 16 in already, bro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man.
All right, hit me with something, man. Get me off this bullshit.
Yo, this shit. I'm going to stay in Texas, bro, but this shit was wild, bro, because I think it's a lesson that we all need to... This is just a cautionary tale. Yo, so there's this lady, this 30-year-old lady in Texas. She's pregnant.
Okay.
So...
It's kind of late for Texas.
Shouldn't she have a senior in high school already? You said Texas, not Puerto Rico.
Sorry, man. It's probably Austin.
It's probably a little more progressive.
Yeah, progressive.
Bro, so she gets pregnant. Hold on. All right. So she got pregnant in February.
Okay.
A month later, she gets pregnant again.
What?
Yeah, bro. So evidently, there's this weird thing where you can be pregnant and then get pregnant again. And so she gives birth to twins about 6 minutes apart, but they were conceived at 2 different times. And there's a name for it. It's called superfetation. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but superfetation in medical terms. And it's a condition where a new pregnancy occurs during an initial pregnancy within days or weeks after the first one. So I say this to say, like, fellas, if you trying to empty the clip out on somebody who's already pregnant because your logic is, well, you can't get more pregnant. Fucking wrong. You wrong, bro. Let this be a lesson. You can most definitely get more pregnant. Just ask Carrie Winhold and her poor husband. God damn.
Yeah, I was saying, so married. Now that would be
it doesn't say.
interesting, right? If it's two different guys.
Yo, what? And I think that has happened before. But how wild is that? But you're pregnant. You're like, you can bust at me. I can't get more pregnant.
Right.
Wrong. You fuck, bro. You don't be wild. Two different guys, two different races, and you have twins. One of them black, one of them white. you get a ginger, and you get another, regular kid.
What's regular?
Not ginger. Fucking evil looking Chucky doll ass kid. That shit is crazy, bro.
Dude, there was another shooting in North Carolina.
Okay.
Where this guy kills his girlfriend. But he like weeks before he had won like $10 million in some scratch off lottery.
Okay.
And then he said he caught his girlfriend texting another guy. Their age disparity was like 20 something years. So he was like in his 50s, she was in her 20s.
Okay.
And so he said, I killed her because she was texting other guys.
So he killed her because she was texting other guys after just winning a $10 million lottery ticket?
Yeah. Which I'm assuming maybe they had been together long enough to where she could probably take him to court or something, and he was like, "You ain't fucking with my money."
No, you can't. If you're not married, it doesn't matter, bro. Domestic partnership. I don't know what it's like in North Carolina. It varies by state, man. A lot of them don't even care, bro. Like a lot of them.
So if you've been a girlfriend for 15 years,
and a lot like in Florida, it doesn't fucking matter. You get nothing, bro. Like in Florida, you get absolutely nothing. Like the domestic partnership thing is just that, but doesn't give you rights to anything. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Dude, Florida doesn't even recognize, like, if you've been married less than 7 years, you barely get shit either. Like, in terms of divorce settlements and all that stuff. Like, it's bizarre, bro. So I think it varies. I don't know what it is in the Carolinas. Maybe that. But also, buy a new girlfriend, bro. Like, the fuck?
Or a few of them.
Or a few of them. How the Yo, we so dumb, bro. As I'm saying, like, men, bro, we're programmed so fucked up. Like, really is, bro. So I'm saying, we ain't shit, dude. Like, the fact that, like, common sense doesn't go, man, you got 10 mil, bro. That buys a lot of pussy. Like, a lot.
Yep. And you can send them home.
Yeesh. Yeah. And you gonna murder and then throw away the rest of your life for this. So I'm saying, that's just not, no, bro. We're fucked, bro.
You figure in your 50s, if you win 10 mil, you won.
You're good, bro. You won.
Yeah, you won.
Never working again if you play your cards right. You're like, yeah, if she cheating on you, oh well. Yeah, okay, bro.
Good for you.
Go have fun with the dude who ain't got $10 million. Like,
go have fun with the janitor.
Unless she texting a ball player, bro, I'm gonna be like,
even then, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
man.
but I'm saying, but you won. Like, you be like, all right, bro, you enjoy that minimum wage, dick. Like, the fuck, bro. Like, you go ahead and get that, bro. Like, it's just crazy to me, man, that, like, we're that, I don't know, bro, guys, we're so unreasonable anyway. We're just, but we've been programmed to think about one thing and one thing only. We can't overcome it. It keeps us from being successful at anything.
Yeah, before we get out of here, man, NBA Finals. You got Celtics and Golden State Warriors. Who you got?
I just gotta go with the team that's got the championship experience, man. It's the Golden State, bro. I just don't. How do you shut down 5 scorers or 4 scorers, like prolific scorers, bro? Golden State has that many.
I can't disagree with you, man. But I am going to. I'm going Celtics in 7,
bro. And ESPN has their little basketball index thing with the stats and the whatever line thing has them at like an 86% chance of winning the finals. It was like 86
so
to 14.
Odd, man.
It is.
I don't know how the fuck they came with
I
that.
thought Golden State was going to be favored by a long shot, but that whole basketball index thing had it at 86% in favor of the Celtics. That shit's normally not wrong because it's taking like stats and all kinds of stuff. Like it's doing them, like it's removing the emotion, right? And it's purely like statistical data. So
you know what, man? Like throughout my childhood and early adulthood, like I watched, who was it? Like the Detroit Pistons overtake, like the Celtics, who were like dominant. Right, and then I watched the Bulls overtake the Pistons, and so I feel like Boston. Not that they've been knocking on the door, but they've been good for a while, and I feel like the young talent is kind of coming into their own. Obviously, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. but they have a really good starting five.
Yeah.
And Al Horford, man, congrats to that dude. First finals.
Is it his first, man?
First.
Oh, wow. He's been around for a while.
Yeah, he's been around for a while, man. So first finals for him. But the team just looks good. And, they made the coaching change where, the old coach moved up to the front office.
Yeah.
And this guy, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
But the guy is a good coach, man. And so I kind of feel like this year is their year to kind of move into that.
They've been the Atlanta Braves, bro. Like, the Atlanta Braves have always been competitive, and they'll get to, like, a World Series, but they can't quite win it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what the Boston Celtics are. Yo, I saw something this week, bro, that just proves how, the NFL is the most even league, has the most parity of any other professional sports league in the U.S., bro, because the Boston Celtics have won something like 22 or 23 world championships. Dude, the team in the NFL that has the most has, like, 6. So you think about that for leagues that have been around equally as
Patriots,
long.
right?
Yeah, I think the Patriots and the Steelers, there's like a 3-way tie. It's like Patriots, Steelers, somebody else. I think maybe Green Bay. Somebody else has like 5 or 6 or something like that. So Chicago has to have like 5.
No.
1. Of Super Bowl titles?
1.
Wow. So they
have championships before Super Bowl. But Super Bowls 1.
I'm saying, like, and an NBA Finals, again, a league that's been around about as long. The Celtics have like 22 world championships, bro, in the NBA Finals. So, like, it's just strange. Yeah, bro, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be shocked if they won it. And then obviously the stats know something we don't know. I just don't know how you pick against Golden State right now, man. But we'll see.
Yeah, they got.
I think Boston has to turn into bullies. I think if they do that and they make it physical, then like that's their sort of chance of winning, which they're more than capable of doing. So I feel like that's the chance that they have. Or maybe they may just make it ugly, and then.
Yeah, I do think that Golden State's starting 5. You got 4 like scorers on there, man.
Yeah, dude. Like you stop
you
all
figure
5
like
of them,
you figure like the Celtics have sort of like 2 scorers. Mm-hmm. The other ones can score as well, but not like those 2.
It's definitely the better of the 2 matchups, man. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they're not blowouts because I feel like the rest of the series have all been blowouts. So the first game's tomorrow night, then, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that'll be. I hope they're at least close games.
It's like 2 days rest on everything. So it's like Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday, like that.
Oh, so it's like huge. Okay. Huge gaps in between.
So you got like 2 days in between each game.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, we'll see, man. I just hope it's at least good because all these games are blowouts except for the game 7.
The playoffs in general have been fantastic, but like you said, the Boston Miami
conference finals were
blowouts, they weren't really that great.
Even Golden State just waxing the
Dallas,
Mavericks the way they did. Yeah, it's like they were good up until the conference finals, and they just got ugly, man. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, the Eastern Conference one, it was either like heavily sided one way or the other.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. Hopefully it's a good game.
All right, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man.
We got other shit that we gotta get into, man. But we'll leave that shit for next week.
Yeah, we'll leave for next week, man. Oof, we went long on this one. Too much time on
fucking.
You know what, man? I'll leave it with this,
shootings.
bro, because I think this could go to either shooters. This could go for Amber Heard. This could go for whatever. Deal with your trauma, man. Or that shit's gonna deal with you. So, little quote I read, and that shit is accurate as fuck, and you can relate that to anything in life, bro. You've been through some shit. Obviously, these people have. Whatever you deal with your trauma, or it will deal with you, man. So, I'll leave it with that, bro.
All right, man. And on that, we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.